This was interesting, Brian. You showed this to me yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was
trying to contribute to the show.
This sounds fun. I mean,
so you just set it up all by yourself.
You'd be down to do.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. I completely flipped this on the show sheet I had around the rim here, and then we were going to do this on the other side. But I'm just going to lean into the bit. That's fine. We're going to do around the rim coming up at 3:40, and then we'll do this year. But I love this. You and I both love the draft.
We do love the draft.
So we can bounce off each other and do this nicely. But this is courtesy of Yahoo Sports.
Yeah, Jay Busby, he's a senior writer with Yahoo. He's going to he's going to redraft the quarterbacks of the past 5 years.
Okay, so just 5 years.
Just 5 years.
Got it.
So he's saying now you're a general manager. Congratulations. Your team owner has only one job for you. Get a franchise quarterback.
Okay.
You have the choice of any quarterback who's joined the league in the past 5 years. And he says, hey, if we're already a fantasy land making you a GM, you might as well go all the way. So which way do you go? Okay, here is his order based on both performance and potential. And now you're on the clock.
Okay.
So his number one pick is Joe Burrow from the last 5 years.
It's hard not to go with Burrow.
Best quarterback in the past 5 years for now. He has already taken his team to the Super Bowl. Injuries are a concern, but when he's on the field, he's good as it gets. That is, he was the number one. He was first pick, 2020.
So this only goes back, I think, 2019 then?
Yep.
Would be the cutoff. So obviously you don't have Mahomes available in this. I think absolutely I would take Burrow. I mean, what he was able to do with Cincinnati, he's consistently won there. The injury, I understand it, right? He's been hurt twice now with season enders. But you had a franchise that had made the playoffs a bunch, had never won. He takes them all the way to the Super Bowl. First time in 30 years they win a playoff game. Then they get back to an AFC championship. You know my love for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I would certainly take him number one.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is very deserving to be the first overall pick. Second overall pick. This gentleman was selected in the 7th round. Pick 262 in 2022.
Mr. Irrelevant?
Mr. Irrelevant. That would be Brock Purdy.
Okay, so he's going to go Purdy over Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I did see a stat when it came to Trevor Lawrence, who I'm sure we'll get to in a moment, that he's got the same statistics through this amount of games in his career as Daniel Jones. They're basically identical. You would never think that. I mean, T-Law has certainly not been the same this year. His 8 games to end the season last year were fantastic. But Purdy, okay, so Purdy's in the MVP conversation.
Right.
I actually had this, if you don't mind me playing this audio. I was going to try and get to it during an NFL News of the Day. But this was Jerry Rice. If we can rock with this, Lucius, this was Jerry Rice on Fred Warner's podcast. And he's making a comparison, Brock Purdy, to the quarterback, the first quarterback he played with that's a Hall of Famer, Joe Cool.
Brock reminds me a lot of Montana, his coolness. He doesn't get rattled.
Mm-hmm.
You need your quarterback to be that way.
Right.
What he's doing, the leadership, his composure. Watching him when he first took over, the velocity behind his throws. Hey, man, tight spiral, catchable ball, like that. I love it, man. And his decision-making, he doesn't hold on to the ball that long.
I mean, I'm so happy to be a part of this team where I have these type of guys that I get to watch while I'm on the sideline. It's like I'm in the stands, being able to watch the show that they putting on for us.
It's nuts, though. I mean, Purdy now being taken over Jalen Hurts, who was in the Super Bowl, and now Tua,
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. And then, man, there's another big name that
Justin Herbert.
What about C.J. Stroud and what he's doing right now?
Okay, now here we go. Now you got Brock Purdy at 2.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's go 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And even, let's go through 7 here. You ready? At number 3, they got Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Number 4, they got Tua. Number 5 is Trevor Lawrence. Number 6 is Justin Herbert.
Okay.
And number 7 is C.J. Stroud.
Wow. All right. I mean, Stroud, the way that he's played, and granted, you want to start to see this over several years.
Yeah.
Stroud's upside might be the best of the bunch. I mean, with what he's been able to do. I do like Herbert going behind some of these guys. I mean, the battle was Herbert and Tua. I think a lot of people still, just because of the measurables, and Herbert with his talent, not only to run and the arm strength, would probably still lean with Herbert. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence is a tough one, man. Trevor Lawrence is still kind of everything you want in a quarterback, but there are a lot of knocks to his game that I don't think we stop and really point out and take a lot of time to discuss.
How would you rank those 5 guys?
Those 5?
Would Stroud be 1?
I think I would go Burrow 1 still.
Well, no.
Oh, I mean, just from Purdy on?
Just from Purdy on. I think
It's
all
not-
these guys.
honestly-
I think I'll take all these guys over Purdy.
You would?
Well, maybe not.
Maybe
yeah.
not Tua. Would you take Tua over Purdy?
Yeah, I think I would.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think I might go Stroud. And this could just be, hey, the dude's had an amazing 10-game run, and we've seen quarterbacks have a great season. But projecting, I think I might go Stroud 1. I think I would go Trevor Lawrence 2.
Ooh. I think I would go. God, I think I'd go Herbert 2. Tua 3.
Yeah.
Hurts 4.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Trevor 5.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything, except I would move Trevor up.
You're way high on Trevor, right?
I know. I'm probably too higher than I should be on Trevor.
Yeah.
But, man,
Stroud seems like the guy that's just.
Stroud just seems like, holy hell, this dude's going to be.
They're going to get more weapons for him.
The real. Yeah, because what he's been able to do, like, I love Tank Dell, but he's making Nico Collins look like a Pro Bowl receiver.
Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing what CJ Stroud's doing.
Okay, Kyler Murray would be 8th on this list. Maybe a little too high for Kyler Murray.
It's amazing. Kyler also was a guy that had that one amazing year, and then things have just really fallen apart.
Size and durability have proven correct, but he still possesses the ability to perplex and torment a defense. Might not be the solution, but he's the kind of quarterback who will do it until the solution comes along. This first-round pick, number 1 overall in 2019. Number 9 is Anthony Richardson. I think that's way high for him.
It's way too high. We don't know what Anthony Richardson is yet. I mean, he certainly has a cannon for an arm, and he can run around. But, again, like, that's the fear with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
He's hurting out for the year.
Right.
Is that going to be because of the way he plays? Is that going to be a theme for his career?
I think Gardner Minshew taking over for the Colts probably was the best thing to happen to Anthony Richardson. Because he's not having that. I don't know if Anthony Richardson was going to get them in the playoffs like this, like what we've seen with Gardner Minshew. At 9, I think that's a little rich for me.
It's a little rich too.
Justin Fields at 10.
See, I'd go Fields over Richardson.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Bryce Young at 11. Wow.
See, I don't know. We don't know what Bryce Young is yet. Bryce Young's been in a terrible situation.
He's so slight.
He is small.
I mean, I think that's going to affect teams looking at Jane Daniels.
We had that conversation last year. See, Jane Daniels is taller than Bryce is at least.
6'3", 205.
But the build, you're right.
The slight build.
I saw somebody text in comparing Jaden Daniels to Teddy Bridgewater, and they actually do have very same physical body types.
But I'll tell you what the thing with Daniels is he has such a feel in the pocket.
He does.
When things look absolutely bleak, he is going to make something out of it. 3rd and 17, he is going to run for 35 yards.
And his eyes stay downfield.
They do.
He's not a guy that's just going to take off and run. Yeah, he is. I loved Jaden Daniels. I mean, I think right now I've got Daniels ahead of May.
You know who I think May is? May's the North Carolina quarterback. I could get in that mode now.
Sorry.
I got to tell you who these guys, where they're going to school, because people don't know who the hell they're talking about. Drake May, who he reminds me of? Eli Manning.
But more mobile.
I don't know.
I think he's more mobile than Eli. Drake May made some running plays that I was pretty blown away with, but I see what you're saying because there's throws.
The throws that he makes the guys work for the ball.
Yes.
Where there's like some underthrows.
Or behind him a little bit. And then he's got a guy wide open in the corner and he overthrows him.
You're right about the mobility stuff. I just think the accuracy reminds me of Eli Manning.
It's inconsistent, but then he makes some wow throws where it's like, holy hell, how'd you get that ball off? A lot of people are complaining that we're not giving Purdy enough credit. I don't think you guys are recollecting the person who was pounding the table for Brock Purdy was indeed Brian Broaddus. Broaddus, you were a Purdy guy, and I believe that Purdy is a top 10 quarterback, and I don't think he's a product of the system. I think Purdy's very good. But some of these guys, I do think, we haven't seen Brock Purdy perform when things haven't been perfect around him. I still think he's a good quarterback, but they went on a 3-game losing streak when he didn't have Debo. Trent Williams is hurt. We haven't seen Purdy go ahead and be able to overcome injuries at all.
Yeah. I still love Stroud, though, myself. Number 12 is Jordan Lewis. Oh, excuse me, Jordan
Oh,
Love.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Man, Jordan Love had a 4-week span where he was balling, and now they're hurting a little bit.
Got Sam Howell at 13.
Yeah, Sam Howell needs to be. We're not Sam Howell in here.
Sam Howell, I had Sam Howell in there, but not at 13.
No.
He's kind of fallen apart for me a little bit. Daniel Jones at 14.
Yeah, I'm out on Daniel Jones.
I'm out.
He'd be off my board.
Yeah, the whole thing with Daniel Jones is the medical stuff with him is just not very good. Will Levis, my guy. I was a Will Levis guy, right?
You were a Will Levis guy.
Yeah. Me and Aisha Morrison went at it a little bit.
You were a Will Levis guy.
Yeah, Aisha was.
And that was a hell of a comeback he had against Miami.
Yeah, it was. But he's there's things you could like about him. She wasn't wrong about him, but he was a second round pick. Pick 33 overall in 2023. Gardner Minshew you could have at 16.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett at 17.
See,
I'm out on Kenny Pickett. I'm out on Kenny Pickett.
Like I would put Minshew ahead of Jones even. Gardner Minshew's done considerable winning in the NFL, and he is a backup. But I think Daniel Jones is a backup too.
Aiden O'Connell.
We both liked.
And
we were kind of hoping the Cowboys would snag
I was.
O'Connell.
Yeah, and I think Mike McCarthy liked him too.
Yeah.
4th round pick 135 for you right there. Mac Jones. This
just goes to show you how bad some of these quarterbacks ended up being.
I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. Desmond Ridder, I mentioned that yesterday. Mm-hmm. I like Desmond Ridder more. He went in the 3rd round.
Hasn't turned out to be good.
Hadn't turned out to be very good. He's at number 20. Zach Wilson at number 21.
Okay.
Bailey Zappi at 22.
Yeah, backup guy.
Yep. Jake Browning. He was undrafted in 2009.
Jake Browning's a good backup quarterback.
Yep.
Winning games there in Cincinnati.
He's number 23. Trey Lance.
Would love to see Trey Lance get an opportunity somewhere.
How about this? Quite possibly, this is what what Busby said. Quite possibly the worst quarterback pick of the past 5 years, given how the 49ers gave up, how much they gave up to acquire him. Brock Purdy saved the 49ers from years' worth of scorn. Lance was never really got a chance. He might be brilliant for all we know, but he's languishing deep on the Dallas bench. And number 25, Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy DeVito, another undrafted guy.
Yep.
All right, so redrafting the quarterbacks of the last 5 years, it seems like Purdy's generated the most conversation on the text line. And no, 682, that's a massive overreaction. Nobody's saying Purdy sucks. I think it's fair criticism. When you go on a 3-game losing streak, and yes,
did we say he sucks?
No, but they're saying, he went on a 3-game losing streak in his only full season as a starter. Oh my God, he must suck. No, that's not what we're saying at all.
Yeah.
But
probably needs some help around him, everybody else, I guess.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like we've seen, some of these. We mentioned the Dak example with Seattle. Defense plays poorly. Dak overcomes that, is able to get that team a win. Brock Purdy, when the defense hasn't played bad or he's had some injuries, he doesn't have that signature win yet. It's not that he can't get it.
Yeah.
I think he can, and he's not a system quarterback to those that texted in my opinion, because he's helped open up that offense. Yep. He's doing things that other quarterbacks in that offense, like a Jimmy Garoppolo, weren't doing. That used to be a lateral type of offense. Now it's vertical. Yeah. And that's because Brock Purdy's making throws down the field that Jimmy G wasn't making.